testing now. So the show will be starting in about 1 minute's time, guys. Hello and welcome along. Just the volume. Hi, hello, welcome along to the Gers TV. My name is Cy Leslie.
I'm Gordon Bond. Good evening.
And we've got Lewis here as well tonight doing the technical side.
Lewis Capaldi stopped his world tour. Has popped in to help us with the Gers TV, which is good.
Guys, just as usual, just give us as many likes and shares as possible. And a wee bit later tonight due to the weather outside in Glasgow. Tonight's show is brought to you by Maxwell at the heart of it. For any of your petrol needs, these are the people to go to.
Yeah, but it's just not just petrol, lottery tickets, sandwiches, nice wee chat with the nice colleagues, anything you like, they will suit your needs as well. And a big shout out to friends of the show, Sons of Struth, who do absolutely fantastic work. So please, if you haven't already visited their Facebook page, type it in, check them out. And if you've got any kids that want to get into football, then go along or get in touch and they'll arrange that for you. Absolutely fantastic organisation, so well done to everyone there. And of course, I hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas, and we'd like to wish each and every one of you a very happy New Year as well, because it has been a while since we've been on here.
Well guys, Happy New Year.
So
you don't need to worry about me asking anybody about the volume anymore and how it sounds, because we've went all technical. We've got earphones.
We've upgraded the show to have a volume button.
And change the camera angle so you get to see our beer guts and our bellies. And
speak for yourself.
The lady that does all the grunting and groaning and farting is now live.
It's a real dog, not Simon's Curry.
Hope you all had a good Christmas, guys. Hope everything went well. Loads and loads and loads to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about, first of all, we've got the Neil Firm game that took place 2 weeks ago.
So last Monday, no, it wasn't 2 weeks ago, it was just last Monday. It does feel like a long time ago because it's obviously just after New Year. So we'll talk about that, then we'll talk about the game at the weekend. We'll talk about who we want to sign the transfer window, and then we'll wrap things up by previewing the semi-final.
And I'm also going to ask the question to our viewers tonight: is it time that John McLaughlin now becomes the Rangers #1? There'll be different views on it. I think until the end of the season, his time's here. I think he deserves it. I think he's on something like 7 clean sheets with Rangers. Alan McGregor's been a great signing for us. He's been a great player, a great ambassador for the club. However, I think he's needing that chance to retire gracefully. So if you agree with me with that, give me the thumbs up. And if you think it's a bad idea and it's time to bring Shagger back in, the thumbs down. Gordon, your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on it, I'll be perfectly honest with you. If McGregor's fit, then I genuinely believe that McGregor, save for a better keeper than McLaughlin. However, at the end of the season, I would let McGregor retire gracefully. He's been a fantastic servant, and thank you very much for his time. Great keeper, but I don't think John McLaughlin has got the ability to be a true Rangers number one. He's not in the mould of a Kloss, a Gorham, McGregor, etc. etc. So I think the goalkeeper. I don't think the goalkeeping department's urgent because we've got decent keepers, but I think in the summer we have to look at the goalkeeping department.
Yeah, so you're saying give him at the end of the season?
Give McGregor. I see. To be honest, with the way things are going this season, I think either or at the moment. I don't think the goalkeeper's the priority.
So here's an idea. Why don't we play him in the Scottish Cup final and bring in Alan McGregor with 1 minute to go?
Well, if we get to the cup final, I see what you mean.
Yeah. But no, I think let us know your thoughts on it, guys. A thumbs up if you think it's time to get McLaughlin in, or for back the Shagger, back down with the thumbs, and let us know. Also, it is silly season with the transfer window, so if you know anyone that Rangers are linked to and you think we're going to be buying, or your opinion on it, please let us know.
Yeah, if you've got any exclusive stories about people shopping in IKEA, let us know. I was the old. I used to always go on follow at the transfer windows, and it'd always be, I've seen Sunday shopping in IKEA. That was it. That was the old rumour. It didn't matter what age you were, where he was from.
The first place you go is IKEA all the time.
Aye.
And as well as that, we're also going to say that Lucia's going to read out the comments tonight, so we'll do that as well. So we'll just go to the start of the comments first of all. Have you reminded, like, share, guys, get us on the map there, put us out there.
So Donna Robertson saying hi, Ryan Phillips saying good evening, Mark Aiken saying hi, Gordon Cameron saying good morning from Sydney. Isaiah Eugenie saying good evening.
Say that again, sorry.
No.
Thank God Rangers didn't go for that operating manager. That's all I can say.
You want to have a go at his name?
Absolutely not. Move on.
WATP saying McCrory should be number one. Robert Binney saying any news on Todd Cantwell?
He's been a thing today, but
fun enough.
I think his name's been mentioned a few times, certainly, and Michael Beale's mentioned the fact that he'd like to sign him.
I think Michael Beale came out after the game the other day and said that he really admires the player. I don't think he would say that randomly. It's not the kind of conversation you have for a random purpose with a random player. Yeah. So
no, just that Gordon deliberately put the name in, if you know what I mean.
But apparently, again, he was at one point a promising player with potential. However, his injury record is deplorable. And my question is, do we really want to go down the road of signing these guys who've had knee injuries, etc., etc.? Because yes, he might be a good player, but if it's like Kieran Roof, we're only getting, out of 4 seasons, we're only getting, a season and a half in total out of the players, then we've been down this road so many times.
Yeah, 100%. I did think it was interesting with Michael Beale's recent interviews. I think he's very good in the interviews and the press conferences, and he did say something that I 100% agree with. I've always said that we shouldn't be buying loan signings, we should be buying players that are ready to hit the ground running and are going to go into the Rangers team. No squad players, no future projects, guys who are going to hit the ground running. So he's not going to buy young guys from Man United to give them experience to go back to their clubs like Diallo and guys like that for the past. He'll definitely have his eye on people already.
Yep. I think something like Cantwell's, that's the kind of player we want to get in, somebody of that ilk and quality. He's obviously a quality player, but for me personally, it's just I don't want to sign players that we can only get half a season out of.
Yeah, 100%. We also, I think we need to remember that the midfield's going to get weaker soon, with some of the players going to be leaving with their contracts running out. For an example, Kamara. So I think that's the place that we would need to strengthen most of all. Other than that, you've got the situation with Alfredo Morelos leaving, if he leaves, and Ryan Kent. So 2 players that will be hard to replace. However, if they go, they need to be replaced.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I've heard the rumours about Todd Cantwell, and obviously Tom Davies, who are both the same age at 24, have got a lot of Prem experience. So I think I'm of a different view, and I think that we should take both of them. I mean, good for strengthening the squad, which is a big issue at the moment. Squad depth.
100%. One of the things I think that Beale does want to have is what we had in the first era with Gerrard, was almost every position we had 2 good players that could go into the team. And for the last 6 months we've been playing, and again it's not his faults, but we've been playing Sands in every position, trying to cover, and it's not made the boy a better player. To be fair, he's became a better target, but James Sands has played every position almost I can think of, apart from centre forward and goalkeeper. He's covered everything, and we don't want that. We want guys that have natural replacements for the position they're in.
Yeah, and he's also been talking up John Lundstrom. So you can imagine he'll get Lundstrom tied to a new contract. So you've got to imagine, obviously, I don't think Davis will play again for Rangers. Kamara could be away as well. And Ryan Jack has got his injury problems. And Scott Arfield, although he's a fantastic player, he probably won't feature as much next season either because he's coming to the end. He's coming to the kind of business in his career as well. So
well, he got an extra contract, an extra year this year, and I think that was the right decision.
yeah,
But I agree with you. I think we need to get young guys as well. We need to be giving Lowry a chance. I don't know why he's been taken to the team recently. I'm hoping it's to kind of toughen him up a wee bit, maybe get him stronger.
yeah, we have got an Asian squad as well, so it'd be good to get. I don't think we want to bring in 17, 18-year-olds, but personally, I think these are the kind of players we should be looking at. But if they need the medicals need to be thorough, and that's something we've let ourselves down over the last since I was a boy. Actually, I can remember players like Prodan and Jonas Tern and Panini and players
Yeah, you need
that
to back
always
away.
and Rosenthal always injured, and so. For me personally, I think we need to get the signings that can play a full season,
Yeah.
or at least,
We need
or
to
at
replace them.
least 3/4.
We can't just replacing like for like. You need a bit of quality, but you're right, longevity. There's no point. We're hoping for an example, right? I've said for about 2 years now, and I don't take any pleasure in saying it, but I did say that. I forgot his name. The defender has sat long since I played.
I need to be careful with the camera because I'm stroking the dog, but
I did say that I was hoping that John Suter would come back and he would be the better player, but it's going to be a hard one. The guys that are injured now, there's too many of them that are getting injured, like Roof. Kolak, for example, comes back in the team 45 minutes and he's back out again.
well,
That's got to stop, and it's got to stop now.
I made this point a few weeks ago before that we broke up for Christmas and New Year's. I mean, bringing players back too early
Aye.
because Michael Beale said a strange thing. I read an interview where Michael Beale said he's never seen Morelos as fit as in his life.
Which
Now,
I found strange.
I found strange because as much as I love Morelos, he is not the fittest he's ever been. Right?
When we beat, when we drew with Feyenoord, didn't we, away from home?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we drew with Feyenoord away from home, that was when Morelos, in my opinion, was at his fittest.
Yeah.
That time frame. And he's a kind of player. He's a bit like Andy Gorham, different position obviously, but you can tell when he puts
Yeah.
on the weight, you can notice it quite easily. Can't hide it.
So Michael Beale I think Michael Beale wants to keep Morelos. Reading between the lines, I think he's trying to build him up and build his confidence up. Morelos did come on and change the game at the weekend. Like, you can't get away from that because
He's still a fan's favourite.
it was his presence that changed it a little bit
Yeah.
on Sunday afternoons. So we'll see what happens. Personally, I'd like to keep Morelos and Ken,
So
but
keep the comments coming. I'm just going to read all the comments and then let us know. We'll go to the Old Firm game. We'll talk about that.
Jack Ward from Londonderry says, hello chaps.
hi
Hello.
Jack, mate.
How
How
you
you
doing?
doing? You alright? Hope you're well. Jack's a good friend of myself on the show. I think he's met you as well, Si.
Probably. I don't want-
Unfortunately for Jack.
I don't want to shout hi Jack. We'll all get a fright.
Aye, and hi to Demi as well. So hope you guys are doing good.
Oh, is that where I met in the Oswald's?
Yeah, and it was selection boxes.
That's right. Aye, thanks for that.
Apologies for last Monday going home early, but I wasn't well after the New Year, etc. So I had to chuck it.
In other words, it was your round. He was left in his Jack Jones.
Jim back saying, I think we need a striker, Nisbet from Hibs or Shanklin for Hearts.
Aye, that's. I mean,
You know what? That's a very, very good shout. And well, here's the thing: why not both?
My own opinion on it, right? I think I've seen a story about Shanklin a few times, right? And actually, sometimes I laugh because you look at social media and you probably shouldn't because you get angry sometimes. You read comments, people rubbishing the boy Shanklin. He's playing for Hearts. He's played at every level. He's played at. He's been a top goal scorer. He's a quality player. He's Rangers daft. Now, playing for Hearts, people say, but he couldn't play for Rangers, he wouldn't score the same goals. Well, you wouldn't know that until you come to the club. We've signed players for Hibs and Hearts for years, that's what we've done. My own opinion is, I think he would be a great third striker, i.e. no playing every week.
Aye.
Sometimes against the don't really behave.
You're right.
Sometimes with these teams, the smaller teams, it's hard to beat.
God, this is just like being out in Paisley.
It's hard to beat these teams, and what you're needing is a guy like Lawrence Shanklin to come on. And I personally think he would be a great signing for the club. No as a first, no as an immediate replacement for Alfredo Morelos. I'd want to keep Morelos, but as a third striker, after you've got, because I would get rid of Roof,
See if
Kovac
aye.
and Morelos, and I would have Shanklin's your third man.
See
and
if you're
Dustin's drinking
right.
coffee.
See if you're bringing in a guy for the Championship, the Premiership, you're talking millions and millions of pounds. Now you're talking, 20, 30 grand a week on wages as well. And I'm bringing in Shanklin. Yeah, he could be a gamble, but it's not going to cost £5 million. It's going to cost a couple of million at the most, and then he's going to be on 15 grand a week at the most.
What have you got to lose?
So it's not. And he's, as you're right, side. I mean, I think he struggled. I think he went to Belgium for a year and struggled a little bit over there, but he has. He banged the goals into United. Then he went.
Did you eat too many chocolates, Heather?
God, don't waffle on. I think you'll get that. And then, as I say,
it was after 8, so then.
he's on course to score 20 goals for Hearts this season, which is the first time, and he's scored 20 goals for Hearts for about 25 years since John Robertson days. So
the other thing as well, Gordon, exactly what you're saying, right? It's alright knocking he's playing for Hearts, but to score if you're going to score 20 goals for Hearts, you're saying that's a hard task.
he scored a couple against Celtic as well, and he knows where the goals are. So scored a hat-trick again. Was it against Celtic? So he scored a hat-trick against Celtic.
That's right, aye.
He scored a couple of goals again at the weekend. And Kevin Nesbitt's come back to injury and scored a hat-trick at the weekend as well.
Quality player as well. So a good point with the two of them. Gordon says sign the two of them. I would say if you're picking one or the other, I would go for Shankland. However, the two of them are great players, really. They would enhance the team.
If you keep, they're different kinds of strikers. So Kovac is a different kind of striker for Shankland. Shankland's a different kind of striker from Nisbet, and Nisbet's a different kind of striker for Morelos. And even you could play Morelos a bit further behind him. You could play one up front, two up front. You can play Morelos a little bit behind.
Yeah.
What always annoys me about watching Rangers is against teams like Ross County or St Johnstone at home. We play so defensively, and we play 8 men behind the ball sometimes, the defensive midfielders. Why not play 2 wingers and 2 strikers, and that's when you can play your strikers on Nisbets?
Yeah, I think, well, to be fair, I do think that's one thing we'll be able to, when he's got his squad in his place, I think he will change the formations and tactics a wee bit more than Gio did. So, so 2 good points there. Any more comments on that just before we go to the chat?
David Herd coming in with the comment, disagree with Gordon for once. I do think goalkeeper needs to upgrade ASAP. We don't have any goalkeeper I now trust to make game-changing vital saves and win us big games. McGregor did that for years, but not anymore. McLaughlin is capable of a decent backup but not top class.
Well, David, that's exactly what I said. I said I'd have McGregor in for the rest of the season, and I would sell McLaughlin in the summer. I would let McGregor leave gracefully because he's been a fantastic servant. I would keep McCrory because he's a great talent, and I would bring another goalkeeper in, and I would maybe play McCrory in the cup games next season. The way we've done with McLaughlin for the last couple of years. So I just think that for me right now, David, the priority of the team is signing a midfielder or a striker, because we've got 3 options in the goalkeeper department right now. So I just don't think it's as much as a immediate concern as other areas of the team. So that's the point I was making there.
Just want to comment. People are asking me to change the privacy on us. See, we're streaming for different pages, guys. We're streaming from my personal page, from Gers TV page, and YouTube, and as well as our group page. So if you're trying to share the link I've got, you just share it from the Gers TV, not from my page, and you'll be able to do that. I can't share it on here. I'm trying to do that now actually. Just change the privacy settings on it. Any more comments, Lewis?
You guys are getting upstaged by wee Lily.
Wee Lily, because this is not the first time.
I was getting winched by Lily at one point. As I was saying, it was like a night. It was like my last night in Paisley. Obviously we'll talk about the Old Firm games. We haven't been on air since the Old Firm games, so it finished 2 each. I thought we came out and started bright. Well, the first few minutes we tried to impress ourselves in the game. Celtic got a break, obviously some bad passing, some bad defensive mistakes let in Maeda for Celtic. He slotted it past McGregor, and then second half we came out, blown away for the first 20 minutes or so, got a good couple of goals, and then unfortunately for the last 10 minutes the manager got a bit of stage fright. He made a couple of defensive subs and it blew up because unfortunately we gave away the goal with a couple of, again, could have cleared it, we had chances to clear the ball, but we looked nervous in the last 5-10 minutes and we lost the equaliser.
I agree with a lot of what Gordon's saying there. My own opinion on it is it's a wee bit watered down, it's a wee bit late because there's been a game since then, but I think he's far too loyal to Kamara. Kamara's already declared that he wants to leave Rangers. He doesn't look to me as if he's 100% on the park. No doubt whatsoever, he's got quality. In an Old Firm game you need to be a warrior, you need to have passion, you need to be prepared to go for the ball that some players might not want to go for. You need to be able to go for the 60-40s. You need to go for everything, and I think he shouldn't have been loyal to Kamara. He should have played Scott Arfield, or he should have brought Scott Arfield on with 20 minutes to go. My major concern under Beale just now, I've not seen it mentioned anywhere. I'm his biggest fan and I think he's going to be a great manager of Rangers. However, he's been manager of Rangers for 6 games. not including the friendly. In every game Rangers have started the first half or the first 40 minutes anyway, they've not took their foot off the pedal. They've been set in gear and they've looked lacklustre and slow, and then they've came back in the second half and won the games. Or
that could be a hangover for the previous manager, or maybe he's told them to start slowly building.
It needs addressed though.
Yeah. So maybe under Gio it was maybe a case of, let's start slowly, but pass it about the place, build ourselves into the game, etc. So maybe it does take a little bit of time to change that mentality. But you're right. Every game we've only really shown off the second half, and we don't want to get in a situation where we're losing a goal, maybe two goals before half time.
A quality team, for example, the cup semi-final on Sunday, Aberdeen, if they go a couple of goals up, but Hibs done last year. Hibs went 3-0 up, and Rangers are still ready to start. Back to the Old Firm anyway. That's my concern with that. But back to Old Firm, as I said, Kamara. Other than that, the defence, I think the Rangers' defence are looking a lot better now. But the defensive, it was a Morelos mistake. The first goal, the second goal, the whole defence. You're looking at, you're thinking, what's going on here? But I agree with you, Gordon. 10 minutes to go, or even before that, I think Rangers should have finished the game with a striker. You've got Kolak and you've got Roof on the bench. If none of the two of them are fit, they shouldn't have been on the bench. And if they are fit, they should have been fit enough to come on for 10 to 15 minutes. And we should have finished the game going for the third goal. And sitting back and inviting Celtic to attack us is everything they want. And if they didn't score when they did, I believe they would have still scored within time.
It's a mentality thing as well. So see when you've got 10 minutes to go, whatever, and you make the defensive changes, you're signalling to your own team. You're sitting back, but you're also signalling to the other team to go and attack you.
And they've done that. They put on two good subs.
And that's what they do. They I quite like Scott Wright. I think it's a kind of player you play for your home games. I guess kind of Ross County, St Johnstone's, etc. When you want to give the maybe Kents a rest or whatever. But to bring him on the Old Firm game when you've got Arfield there on the bench, who's just an explosive form after the Aberdeen game, etc.
Crazy.
I think that was the wrong move. Fortunately,
but also Sands coming on. The Sands one. When the substitute for Sands tells me you're trying to hold on for a 2-1 against a team. Let's face it, Celtic are a good attacking team. They didn't play great on the day, but you're inviting them to go with 10 minutes to go.
At the very least, if you bring somebody like Arfield or Kemar Roof on, or even Kolak on, even if they're not 100% fit, but you're right, if they're on the bench, it should be 100% fit. But even if they're not, it gives them something to think about. The signal is that they need to defend, or we're going to attack. Whereas if we bring on, if we swap midfielders for defenders, etc., then the mentality then is push on. If we bring on a striker, put him up front, that changes their mentality. They go, oh no, there's another striker, we need to defend.
It's all about being reactionary as well. One of the points I would say is I thought Fashion Sakala in the last 6-7 games has been fantastic. Outstanding in the Old Firm game, and then he's playing it right wing, he's tore Celtic apart the whole game, and then we bring him in, we play him into almost as a centre forward, so we've took him for a good position when we've got two forwards on the bench, so with no attacking for it. And then Sands doesn't shoot, he's got 2 chances to shoot. The third chance, I don't even know what he done to this day, he just kind of fumbled it. Celtic run up the park and score.
Yeah, that's very infuriating.
As much as I'm a Michael Beale fan, I think he shit in the bed a wee bit. I think he bottled it.
Yeah, so that's like our thoughts on the Old Firm game. So Lewis, do you want to stop a little bit and see if we've got any...
Lily's snoring here by the way, I can assure you that isn't us.
I want to see Red Fan in the team from Brian.
Unfortunately, he's injured.
Yeah.
Well, that's a story. That's the Glasgow Rangers story now.
So just like all our signings, Brian, mate, he's injured, and we'll probably see him, by the end of the season, a couple of games, whatever.
Well, even Hollander. How long has Hollander been out now? I don't get why Rangers have waited till Hollander's almost, and I mean almost because he'll never be fully fit. We've waited all this time. He's almost fit to decide that we're going to let him go. Why don't just let him go last year?
I wouldn't let him go. I think if he's fit, then I know it's a big if, but Hollander, I could be wrong in this, but this is the first time in his particular career that it's been a big problem injury wise. So maybe with somebody like Hollander, it is just a bad season, which you do get as you get a bit older. So maybe we could get a couple of seasons out of him. I don't think he's a bad defender. He's played in Serie A for years. He's a Swedish internationalist as well. I don't think he's a bad defender, and I wouldn't be in a rush to get rid of him. But again, it's up to the medical team.
But back to the Old Firm anyway, the actual Rangers defence as a whole, I know the whole game, like there was 2 or 3 mistakes, but we do see maybe that wee bit better now. No great, but having big Connor Golson in the centre half position And I must say Ben Davies has been a lot better than using Sands as a replacement centre half. So
Yeah.
I think it has been better. I think you have to be fair.
You
Last week, sorry, Gordon, just quickly.
Go on.
Last week, over last week, it was probably 13, 14 days ago. I was critical that I thought that we should have kept Devine in the team. But then you bring on Borna Barisic and he makes 2 great crosses.
Well, funny enough, I thought we'll go on about the Dundee United game, soon. I thought Barisic's crossing was absolutely deplorable 9 times out of 10 on Sunday, but
Yep.
he did supply a goal, I believe. So you let me off with that a little bit, but yeah, he was crossing.
I'm talking about the week before though for him.
So his crossing is really, really great. It just needs that again. It's just getting that consistency for Borna, because he can put in a good free kick, he can put in a good cross, he can put in a fantastic cross actually, but he just needs that level of consistency as well.
And you've still got the age-old argument that people say he can, people say he can't, I'll say he can't. James Tavernier can't defend. He's a good attacking defender. He's probably one of the best attacking defenders there is in Scotland. He is probably the best in
Well,
Scotland.
he's got 100 goals for Rangers, I believe, so, that's...
Without a doubt. So it's a hard player to replace. But at the same time, sometimes when I watch him defending man to man, I mean, it just leaves a lot to be desired at times.
I think as well, personally speaking, he can sometimes, very occasionally, he can go a bit missing sometimes in games when we've maybe lost the first goal or with a bad start for the game. I think he can, like for the Old Firm game for example, I don't think he was particularly in the game until he got the penalty. But again, with Tav, somebody like Tav, he's got that flair, he's got that, he got his second goal on Sunday against Dundee United with running. So
Yep.
he's got a lot to offer the team. Personally speaking, I wouldn't have him as captain, to be perfectly honest, but I do like him as a player. I think he's a great player, and I think he's very talented.
The only problem with you're saying with the captain position, Gordon, I agree with you 100%, but I'm not in favour of taking the captaincy off from halfway through the season.
Not mid-season.
So that would have to have been last season, or they'll start the
yeah,
the season.
I
But I
wouldn't
agree.
go. To personally speaking, I think Tavernier is a great player, but I was talking this with somebody over the weekend, and that I think the mentality of Tavernier, I think for a Rangers captain, I know we're going off a little bit. He's too nice, and B, he's not got that mentality of winning trophy after trophy. He's not got that mentality of winning Old Firm after Old Firm. See, when you're the captain of the Rangers, you're playing Old Firm games, your expectation should be to win. I think Tavernier's expectation is lucky to get a draw or whatever. And for me, I don't know. I really think Tavernier's a fantastic player, but
Just to rephrase it a different way, Gordon, I've heard it saying before, and I can agree with it. A lot of our players think winning 55 was it. That was it.
yeah,
They've done- they've
that was the
done their job.
pinnacle. Yeah.
But that's the start. That's not the end. That's the start of the comeback with Rangers. Basically, we came back all the leagues. Once you come back all the leagues, we want to get 55, but 55's got to build up for 56,
Yeah.
57, and they need to get. You're right. They need to get in that mentality of constantly winning. That's it. The Rangers Celtic game anyway. Our opinion on it. We'll just read the comments on it to see what people are saying.
Brian saying, what's your thoughts on Rabi
Fabio
Matondo?
Matondo. I believe that he's the third or fourth highest paid player at the club. If the figures that have been going through the internet, you don't always believe social media. He was once sold for £12 million, I believe. So he must have been a good player at some point. However, I don't see a player in him. I don't see much future with him with Rangers. And if he's going to make it with Rangers, he's going to need one game where he absolutely explodes. He changes his mentality.
I think we try and get him out on loan for the rest of the season, and then bring him back in the summer and give him next season to make his mark. If he doesn't make his mark, we then sell him. I don't think under Gio he got a chance week in week out. I don't think he was given a fair crack of the whip, and I think his confidence has been dented by that. So I'd maybe give him a few months somewhere else, maybe a championship club down south, whatever. Try and get some game time. Try and get him out the limelight a little bit of the Gold Bristol or Glasgow, and then give him next season as a chance.
But just to reverse it, what's your opinion? Who is it said it?
Brian.
Yeah, Brian, what's your
Brian,
opinion?
what's your opinion of him? I mean, as I said, if you've been sold for £12 million before, then that tells me there must be a football player in him. However, I haven't seen
But Christian Daly was sold for about 8 million 20 years ago, so
Yeah.
you can't don't read too much into numbers.
But there's also the big boy, what's his name, it went for Rangers and he went back to Italy, Sadiq.
Umar Sadiq, yeah, he's been banging the goals. He's went for millions as well. So
Reminds me of my BB days when he's putting the ball in the net. So there are sometimes when you come to
you're
Rangers,
the goalkeeper.
sometimes when you come to Rangers, they're just too big a club, and it's a very, very hard gig because you're playing in front of a full house, home and away, everywhere, and you're in the position where these guys are maybe used to if they lose or draw a game, it's not the worst result in the world. The way Rangers, you've got to win, and some people just can't cope with it. But maybe Bill can get the best out of them.
Yep. So that's. Well, if any more comments,
We'll just use comments.
Beale has improved us straight away, did little wrong, but his substitutions in the Celtic game cost us the game.
Yeah.
Moving Sakala in the middle
Yeah.
took our main threat away, right offered nothing in Sands instead of Arfield, just asked Celtic onto us. We were unlucky, Lundstrom went off injured, he was the best midfield player on the park in the second half.
Yeah, Wright didn't offer us anything. You're absolutely right, David, mate. Scott Wright didn't come on and offer us an out ball or a threat going forward in the last 15-20 minutes or so. So, good point you've made there. I totally agree with that. Couldn't put it better myself.
This is good. I can listen to the sound now and nobody can get it sounds garbage. You're still snowing too much.
Matthias Zukowski, is he still a Rangers player? I
Yes,
think he is, yeah.
technically he's on loan. Is it Lech Poznan he's on loan
Yeah,
at? Or
it's Lech Poznan.
Lech Poznan.
I would think,
Eh.
I'm just thinking out the box here, I would think that Rangers would be looking to get rid of him in this window, if they can.
Don't know.
I think he still has a future.
He's still young. He's still what? Early 20 or 20,
It's
21.
a bit like
22 or
It's a
something.
wee bit like the Ridvan situation.
Yeah, fortunately, it didn't cost quite as much as Ridvan, but no, I don't know. Like, it was a strange. We bought him last January transfer window. We bought him in at the same time as Diallo and
That's right.
that. And
He's
it's strange.
The classic comment that you read on social media all the time now, he's a Ross Wilson signing. Did the manager want him? Did the manager not want him? But before he came to the club, we were told he was a great player. So-
if you're coming to Rangers to play back up to James Tavernier, who's going to play every single minute, it's going to be difficult for you. But
Yeah.
I think he was a long-term signing, but I don't know if he was happy to sit on the
Aye.
sit
I
out
think
of the
he-
squad.
I think he'll be away. If Rangers, if he gets his loan deal is working out, I think Rangers will let him go.
I think Ridvan might be away as well, to be perfectly honest.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I hope not. I think he's.
I think he's
Come
one.
on.
The problem is I hate seeing this one for the future, because if you're good enough you should be playing the new.
Yeah.
If you're good enough you're old enough, I believe. However, I'm going against it because I think he's one that Rangers won't play until the future, but I don't like the one for the future comment.
I think people forget though that before his hamstring injury, he did start like 3 matches in a row. Like he was starting to get there and he was playing well.
He came on. I remember there was a game he came on, and for 15 minutes he was the best player in the park. He did fade a bit towards the end, but there was a game I can't remember what game it was, but he did come on.
He also,
for a 10 minute spell he was.
he also offers a completely different option from what we've got just now.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the main things.
Yeah.
He's a different type of player. He's a young player with a lot of pace, but again, what the other people think, I'm not so sure
Yeah.
he's going to. I think Gordon's right. I think that Rangers might offload him.
You probably still get.
They might end up with too many defenders now.
That's
I was a
that's
couple of
right,
weeks
right.
ago when I got that, if they defence, they might end up with too many.
And we should have Hadji back at some point this month as well, which would be like a breath of fresh air on the signing as well. So, unfortunately, I think the Open game was the last chance to get back into the league. Never say never, but
That's
it's
why
gonna
I
be-
think
I
yeah,
can't
Beale bottled it. I think with 10 minutes to go or 5 minutes to go even, to sit back the way we done was criminal because we really needed to win the game. You're right, Gordon. We're not giving it up, but
Beale's had a good start to his career. Don't get me wrong. Like Dun United's a place that maybe in the last couple of years we haven't. I think we've lost. Under Gerrard we lost.
he's
Drew
matched
there.
Celtic for every point.
Yeah,
He's matched Big Ange for every point, so you can't.
which is after what 5 or 6 games now. I think.
Aye, so he's not had a bad start. We're far lost any goals, and we're a far better team. But you always want better with Rangers. You always want the best you can get. What's the comments like? Have you got anywhere?
Ravi for me is rapid but hasn't had the chance. Would like to see him play a few games to get sharpness. That's from
Yeah.
Brian Hedges.
That is a good point. He's got the pace, but the problem is how's he going to get the games because there's too many big games coming up. And if he plays in the B team and does well, people will say that's only the B team.
I mean, I saw him playing for Schalke and Stoke, and he's very. There's a player in there, and I think that he will come good. But we do need to be patient. I
Yeah,
think.
you don't go to Schalke for 12 million or whatever
Yeah,
and be a
big
bad
German team.
and be a bad a bad player. And he's come over, and I think I think you're right, Lewis. There's promise, there's potential there. I just think he needs some time.
He needs one big game. He needs one good game.
Either that, or I'll maybe send him on loan
I mean,
and get him away for a few months, then come back in the summer, fresh start, obviously a fresh manager, and with his first pre-season.
See if we could. What I'm saying is about the first half, so we're not doing much and we're not coming into the centre. See if we can get a game where we win a game quite comfortably, 2 or 3-0
yeah.
in the first half, where you know Rangers are strolling it, and you bring him on with 45 minutes, we need pressure. That might be the difference. Just
we
to
we
give
not
that.
do that between Christmas and New Year home to Motherwell. We were 2-0
Yeah,
up
and
and they
he
got him in
missed
Toronto,
that.
and
He
he
missed
came
the
on
shot.
and he missed. Don't get me wrong, if he gets himself these positions, which is great. Eventually will convert,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, he missed almost the same kind of chances Morelos missed the first half, but the difference is Morelos has got a history with Rangers, so people forget about it.
you forgive.
This boy's just started and people go, they can't forget the miss. The jury's out on Matondo right now. He's not had enough chances to say that he's not good enough, but I don't know if he is good enough yet.
It reminds me of Ryan Kent when he first came on loan to us. He was good and we could see his quality, but he wasn't absolutely hitting it. And then he went in an Old Firm, scored a goal, and that kind of exploded him.
It changed it because he suddenly realised what it was all about.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what you need. So, but then, would you maybe give him the? I wouldn't play him on Sunday against Aberdeen, but then maybe St Johnstone away the cup. Next week, the fourth round of the cup.
Yep.
So we played. Will we tell them about the website and that? Then move on to Dundee United review.
Well, just is there any more comments on that first, just before that?
Yeah.
We'll do it then.
Do you think Hadji and Tillman can play in the same team
100%.
of luxury players?
Aye.
Yeah. I mean, Hadji's not got a great, goal output from right wing, but he can definitely play that.
Well, just my first opinion on it is Rangers now are going to be more about squad than team, and the way the league's based because it's 5 subs. So.
That I think you're right. That was a key. That was a key under Gerrard 55. He used the subs. I think it was the first season. It was 5 subs.
Yeah. Maximise it.
He took advantage of that, and Gerrard, and he kept everyone happy because everyone was getting some game time as well. And I think that's hopefully Bill will learn something like that. So we have to have these players that can come on.
Yeah,
that's why
Hadji's a luxury player, yeah, but he's also going to get a new signing.
And that's why I bring in guys like Shanklin in this bit, because remember that these European rules as well is that we've got to have 8 players that have been at a homegrown club for I think 5 years or more.
And that takes a box of 2 good players.
So again, that's two good players we've got
who don't have to learn the Scottish game.
Yeah, and who have got a proven track record of scoring against Rangers and Celtic. So for me, I would rather go for these kind of players than take a gamble on somebody for the Championship that's going to cost 5 or 6 million. Maybe scored 4 goals in the last 2 years.
Yeah, and also the comment back to the question was, can Tillman and Hadji fit in together? I would add a third name to that, and I would say Lawrence when he comes back in the team will be massive. The injury he got was a bit of a freak injury, but that boy, he's the most important thing I think with him is he's got vision and he's no scared to shoot. Right now we want to walk the ball in the net still, we're still got that problem, and the boy Lawrence he's got a good dig on him as well.
Absolutely, and I think you can have Lawrence, Tillman and Hadji in the same team, but you can have them swap positions. That's modern day. You're not putting somebody out on the right hand side under the 90 minutes.
That's right.
You can have Hadji, Tillman and Lawrence.
Well, Kent's got a free role in it.
And what you do is you have them interchanging
that.
And that means that the other team's defenders are also on their toes. They don't know what's happening next because.
Yeah.
And then if Kent always goes on the inside and Hadji always goes on the outside, then that's wrong foot in defence every time because they're used to a certain way. So I don't see why they can't have all 3 of them.
The classic thing you get here for guys that watch Rangers in the 60s, you talk about Miller, Brandon Wilson, the Rangers famous team, and it never really changed, although they very rarely played that famous team, apparently. But what I was going to say was football's completely different now. It's all about squads, and there'll be times when Tillman will play, and there'll be times when Kent plays, there'll be times when Lawrence plays, but they'll be coming on as subs, and I think he'll keep in the mix, as you said. I don't think he'll have a set pattern. I think he'll keep surprising us. That's the one thing I'm excited with Beale is I don't think he's scared to experiment, and I don't think he's scared to get it wrong because he'll just get on with it and start again.
Yeah.
Any more comments?
Not really. No.
Right, so what are you going to do on the website?
So over the last kind of few weeks we've got a brand new website put together, so it was what we've been missing, so please check it out. It is just starting up, so there's not, to be honest, there's not a lot of content on it, but every day we'll be adding more to it, okay? So
yeah, we'll be getting better,
please,
it's a good quality.
Yeah, it's a great quality, it's been built by good friends of the show, and it's a high quality website, so we're going to put the address up in a wee second, so please have a look at it.
It is www.thegers.tv.
Yeah, so www.thegers.tv. We're going to do a mailing list, we're going to do a Rangers news section, we're going to do the e-gaming section as well.
You'll also be able to watch it live on there from next week.
Yeah.
You'll be able to watch it, so if anybody doesn't use, people don't like Facebook, YouTube, you'll be able to just go on the the website and watch it live from there as well.
And on that note, we are also looking for contributors to help out the show as well, so if you fancy contributing to the website and being a ace reporter for Gers TV, you can go to the games. We are trilbies on and your notepads and
Yeah.
you know. Ideally, we're looking for somebody called Scoop McLean, but
Or if somebody, the thing as well is, again, it's all down to time and everything else and pressure, and we don't get a chance to watch a lot of the B games. A lot of them are on when we're doing the show, but we also don't get to watch the ladies team a lot. So anybody that fancies doing a wee article for the Rangers ladies or the B team, anything like that,
Yep.
get in touch with us, guys. No
Yep.
pressure on you. If you want to do one article a week, a month, and then just trying to get as much good Rangers content out there by Rangers fans for Rangers fans.
yeah, if you fancy being the Gers TV correspondent for the B team or the ladies team, the women's team, let us know because we would love that. It's your show as well, so that's something. If you go to these games regularly and you want to do reports or previews or articles or interviews,
Anything at all.
get in touch with us and let us know.
Or if you've got any ideas of things you would like us to do, let us know. We'll be promoting the ERSA, the European Rangers Supporters Association convention soon, and we'll also be promoting NARSA, the North American Rangers Supporters Association soon. But if
Yeah.
you've got any events coming up and you want us to help, please let us know because we'd be happy to do so.
Yep, so we were obviously, before Christmas, we were live in Oswald's as well. We had a great show with some fantastic guests like Stuart Hay, like the Copeland Nutter, like Gordon Smith. So we'll be doing loads of that stuff this year. So if you're in a supporters club or you want to put an event on with the Gers TV help, we can help arrange it and get special guests for you or whatever. Just as Simon says, get in touch with us and we'll happily have a conversation with you.
And get involved in it. Just before I forget this, guys, just to thank everybody. I got a letter from the Glasgow Sick Kids appeal. I got it this morning on email. I didn't know the time to upload it yet. We raised 1,000 selection boxes and 200 boxes of chocolates for the nurses. So the selection boxes for the sick kids and poor kids of Glasgow, and 200 boxes of chocolates for the nurses who do such a wonderful job. And I would just like to thank every single person, bar, club, band, organisation, whoever they are. Too many to mention, man. I don't want to miss anybody out. But people from all over the world contributed, and it's only going to get bigger and better next year. And thank you very much on behalf of the Sick Kids Appeal.
Absolutely fantastic cause, and hats off to Simon and hats off to everyone that helped us and donated. So,
And that's all on the website again if you want to have a look at all the stuff we've done for charity in the past, and we're going to do more in the future. But it's all going to be anything you want to watch for the Gers TV will be on the website.
Yeah, 2023 is going to be a massive year for us, and we can only do it with your help. So if you want to get involved with us, like I have in the past with Simon, like Lewis has with us as well, please do. We've also, now Simon, you won't know much about this because you're a technophobe.
I've got the, listen, I'm going to line that's as soon as we finish, Lewis is going to set up the, I think it's a PlayStation I've got.
Right.
And there, look in, aye.
Oh, get yourself
Aye,
yourself a game gear.
Aye, Brian is watching, gave me a wee gift.
Oh, nice one.
I can't
So,
remember if it's but he gave me now, but I
That's
remember
fine.
they said I can play games on it.
so
I'll be the Spectrum 48K.
Simon's got a Commodore 64 at last. Lewis, if you could put the link up for this after I finish describing it. So we have branched out onto the gaming and esports platforms as well, and we are currently putting together some pro club teams on FIFA. That is for both the Xbox and the PlayStation, and on top of that as well, we've also got online community for other games like COD, Modern Warfare 2, Football Manager, etc., etc. I'll teach you this.
That COD sounds a wee bit fishy. I think we'll get battered into that.
It's one of those fishing games. So if Simon's partner hasn't put you off, we've got a great community as well. We've got about 70 people that have joined in the last couple of weeks. So
Is that right,
thank you for all the members.
65 members currently of our Discord server.
Yeah, so the Discord, it's an online
That's Lewis
community.
reminding us it's his baby here.
So it's an online Discord platform, and there's threads on. There's forums on there for chat about the games. FIFA chat, pro clubs chat. So please join the Discord, and Lewis will put the link on in the next couple of seconds. So please check it out. Even if you don't play games, you can get involved in the chat or whatever. So there's a link on the screen now. Yeah.
But saying that, now that I'm involved, I'm going to try and get some of the old school games, Manic Miner, Jet Set Rally, Paperboy, Match Day 1, Match Day 2, Super Soccer.
As long as you get Horace goes skiing, we're laughing.
All the old classics, I'm trying to remember. There's loads of them. That's the ones I want to do. Jet Set Rally, did I say that one? Donkey Kong, all that kind of stuff. That's
Classics
what
that you had
people
to
want.
play on consoles the size of fridges.
Listen, the good old days, I'm telling you.
So that's a link up there. If you want to get involved in our esports, over the next few months as well, we're putting together some, as I say, we've already started the process off, put some Rangers team together. We want to be champions of the FIFA leagues, etc. So please join us for that. It's fantastic. So please help us with that and click the link. So
Dundee United versus Rangers. Dundee United 0, Rangers 2. Let's chat about the famous.
Yes, let's. Why not?
That's called the Gers TV, bro.
They don't call it Gers TV for nothing. So again, we hit a nail on the head. Absolutely bland first half. Didn't look like scoring, and then maybe a change at half time. Kovac goes off, Morelos comes on, and we're very fair on this show. We criticise and we praise. So Morelos hasn't had the best few weeks, but he did come on. He didn't score, but he put himself about, and I think he, whether or not it was just his presence or not, but he changed the way the Dundee defenders were acting.
He's a menace. Yeah.
And we played, I thought, at spells in the second half on Sunday. We were the Rangers of 2 years ago under Gerrard.
Yeah, a lot. The only thing that disappoints me is the first half. I think Rangers are taking far too long, as I've already elaborated on. We need to start killing teams off quicker and faster. Other than that, the two most maligned Rangers players, in my opinion, the whipping boys, Sakala and Tillman. You've seen people online comments later on were saying, get them off, these guys are garbage, they're rubbish, and the two of them score two fantastic goals in the space of 2 minutes, killing the game, which was good, to an empty Dundee United end, the Rangers end full, after the terrible media that we got, again the club saying nothing about it, the Rangers end full of life, great support, a great second half performance. Sakala is my favourite Rangers player currently just now, and you know what, in the last 6 weeks I think the guy's been outstanding. Even when he has a bad game, he keeps the head up and he goes for it. Great goals, great play, great entertainment. What more do you want in a game of football?
Yeah, I think Sakala really loves it at Rangers, and I'll probably get pillared for this, but it's my opinion and it's up to you guys to
pillar fight.
God.
Pillared from peer to post.
It was just that race I had earlier. So I think Sakala instinctively is a good player. When he's got time to set himself and he's not very composed, I think sometimes he's a bit rash in his finishing. When he gets when he's got a few seconds to think about it, like a chance on Sunday where his goal was absolutely fantastic. What a goal it was! Instinctively dropped the shoulder, kept it up, had it in the half volley, whatever. Brilliant goal. There was another chance maybe 10 minutes later or so where he got the ball put into him and he had a few seconds and then he blazed it over the bar. I think with Sakala, when he's got that few extra seconds to think about it, he maybe panics a little bit or he's no as confident, but I think when it comes to pure instinct, I think he's got a great mindset, and I think instinctively he's a good player. Yeah,
I mean, he's certainly not a polished article, there's certainly more to come from him, but what I would say, and it's something that we expect from every Rangers player but we don't always get, he's became a better player since he's came to Rangers. He's certainly improved, and his effort levels are there. Tillman, different kettle of fish altogether. Some people like him, some love him, some don't seem to like him at all. I feel as if he's the button boy at times. Some of the comments I hear in the stands for him. I think the guy's fantastic. I think he suffers sometimes from, he's the kind of player that reminds me, not the style of play, but it reminds me attitude of Ray Wilkins, where you don't have to do a lot of running if you make the ball do the work. All the great players let the ball do the work and you don't have to be out of puff constantly. And I feel sometimes he puts a great ball through but the players haven't read it. He's been a wee bit too smart for them. But he's still a young lad, and I think Rangers should be building the whole team round him.
That was, in my opinion, Tavernier. See the first season or two with Tavernier, I don't think the players around him were quite in the same wavelength as him, so that's why that's why some Rangers fans have got a little bit of an issue with Tavernier, because they remember 4 or 5 years ago. But I don't think that was necessarily Tavernier's fault at that point, because Tavernier's a technically gifted player. He's got a great first touch.
And what happened is Candace came in, when Candace linked up with Tavernier, they became a great partnership.
Yeah, same as we had with, for a season a bit with Barisic and Kent on the left. I mean, that's a great partnership as well.
So back to what we were saying earlier on, Gordon, with Tillman and Hadji, that might just be the difference in making Tillman that wee bit. He might have somebody similar wavelength.
Yeah.
Because if we remember, Hadji's also got the problem with he's not always consistent, but when he's skillful and he's doing his runs off the ball and his passing movement, he's a great ability. So that might be the combination.
Hadji and Tillman are game changers for that. I mean, look at Tillman against Aberdeen away before, obviously, we broke up before Christmas and New Year. it was a case of Tillman really offered very little in the second half.
Yeah.
But then the 95th minute or 97th minute, I was shouting at the telly, cross, but he kept the ball, kept the ball.
Aye.
Then he crossed, then we scored the winner. So that's what you want. See with players like Tillman and Hadji, sometimes that's all you need in the game.
Entertainment as well.
It can be that difference, that split second difference.
He's also got that wee bit of Ted McMahon about him where you never know what he's doing. Know that wee bit, which as you should there, you're shouting what you doing 3 times and the ball's in the back of the net.
Yeah.
He's got that wee bit of, I'm trying to think of the word for him, but he's got that wee bit of unpredictability basically. You don't really know what he's going to do, so if we don't know what he's going to do, the defenders don't. Let's remember, this is a young boy from Bayern Munich who is rated very highly, and Rangers are the first option for him. My opinion is if Rangers are going to pick one or the other, if it's him or Sands,
what's Tillman up?
It's got to be Tillman, in my opinion. However, I do feel a wee bit bad for Sands because he was thrown into the deep end in every position and he probably didn't get the opportunity that he deserved. I just don't think he's good enough.
I think with Sands, correct me if I'm wrong, but the price tag for him is going to be about $4 million.
$4.5 million, I think.
Now, if it was $1.5 to $2 million, then as a utility player, you could really justify it. But I don't think you can justify $4 million for Sands.
Yeah,
but as you say, it's a shame because he's not done enough to justify it. But that's because he's been put out of position a lot.
But he's never let us down. He's not been good enough, I think is what I'm trying to say. However, if he does leave Rangers, I would bid him the best of luck in his future because he's never shied away from it. Do you want to open the calls?
That's I was literally just about to say that. So let's play the advert and New Year's resolution.
Alright, I've got a new idea for the advert, but I forgot we'll do it next week. I've got a new idea to get into the advert.
Just going to wait until you start talking.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We've got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. The Gers TV. Hit it.
So that's the calls now open if you want to give us a wee call. The phone number is 0141 319 5230. I don't know, just disappeared there. Check, yeah, I'm doubting myself now.
That's
It's been 2
fine.
weeks.
So yeah, it's a bit rusty. So give us a call on 0141 319 5230. And we will hopefully get a couple of calls, but what we'll do is we'll start maybe looking forward to Aberdeen.
The cup at the weekend as well. But guys, if you want to give a call, it costs you about a penny or something to call it in. We need the last 3 digits so we know who you are, unless you're a regular caller. It's good to get people on, even if you don't agree with us, just to give it a different opinion or whatever you think. Is there anybody getting opinions on it? We've missed it before we do the...
Sakala's pace is lightning. We need to get forward passes to him more often. Tillman needs to work harder. Hadji is another one who's inconsistent. Will take a while to bed back in.
So just before we move on, I've obviously with the esports platform got some messages for people. So big shout out to the Corby Loyal.
Aye.
Okay,
100%.
so
used to have a great Rangers supporter. I think they had the biggest venue. I don't remember the Corby Loyal. I've been in the Rangers club a few times. It shut down about. Here's me trying to remember now. I was in it when we played in the reserves played Corby. I think about 8 years ago. And then the club shut down. I've got a pal for there, Rob the fireman. Rob, if you're watching.
What does he do?
Aye. Well, I don't even know if he's a fireman anymore, to be honest, but he used to be a fireman.
Is that the guy that works in Tesco? Aye.
And also I've got a wee pal called Laura as well.
What does she do?
She's a nurse.
Oh, right,
I think she's a nurse. She's a carer.
She's a firewoman.
And she's been on Gers TV a few times. But
So big shout out to the Corby Loyal, and if you want to invite us down to do a night there, roadshow, whatever, let us know.
aye, the thing about Corby is massive Rangers place, massive Scottish influence in it, and it's also it's got bands in it, it's got flute bands in it, it's got supporters clubs.
I'm sure we could maybe arrange a wee Gers TV special down there with some special guests and a good venue. So if you fancy that, get in touch. But as I say, just a shout out for the guys in the Discord channel there with the pro clubs, etc. So big shout out to the Corby Loyal.
Somebody might give us a wee call, it'd be good because we've not spoke to anybody for a week. 0141 319 5230. All we need is the last 3 digits. If you want to give us a call. Before we go into the Gordon, just quickly before we go into the Scottish Cup semi-final, do you want to tell quickly about the podcast that you've been doing with Davy Herd? Because Davy Herd's obviously been doing some comments.
Yeah, so myself and regular contributor and great friend of the show, David Herd, during the kind of summer in that, then in summer we recorded a series of Rangers history episodes, which for me was absolutely eye-opening. And was absolutely fantastic, and to learn all about Rangers. So we did some specials. We did Walter Till, we did all our great strikers in the past. We did our League Cup successes, so the most successful club in the league history to League Cup. We did a special on that, and we did wingers and goalkeepers,
Great goal scorers
and
as well.
great goal scorers as well. So David, we will get back in touch. We will do some more recordings, and the aim now is to keep them on Spotify. So we have got a Spotify channel as well, guys. We have had some hosting problems, so the company that we were using I don't want to get too complicated on it, but the company we're using to host and transfer the files from Gers TV onto Spotify's went bust, so we're looking for another kind of what's called a hosting platform for that. However, once the website is up and running, we will also put the recordings and the podcasts on the website as well. So we are currently looking
They're
at.
on it. I've got them on it.
Brilliant. So they're all on the website at the moment. That's great. So www.thegers.tv,
Yeah.
and also if you go on Spotify and check out the Gers TV, the channel on there, I've got some episodes to upload, but we have had some technical issues with the. It's called the hosting. I don't want to get too complicated.
So
but
what's kind of subjects are you going to be looking into soon?
well, David, if you're please send me a message or a phone call after the show, because I want to try and spend some time over the next kind of 4 or 5 weeks recording some more episodes if that's okay with yourself.
And a few people are telling us have checked out the website and that's great, the feedback on it.
Yeah.
It'll get better. It's a really good website we've got. We just want to put as much content in it, and it's hard when you've got your own life as well to try and juggle so much. But it'll be getting updated at 2 or 3 times a week minimum. However, anybody interested in getting involved, just let us know and you can get involved as well.
Yeah, so David, I'll get in touch with you shortly. I've been really busy, obviously, with December, then Christmas, New Year, and we've had some technical problems with the hosting service on Spotify, but hopefully we can fix that. And as I say, we have it at the website now as well, so all good. So I'll get in touch with you.
Yeah. So be reminded, the phone lines are now open. It's 0141. I can't remember, my memory's terrible. 4141 319 5230. It's a free call. But there's no free. It costs about a penny or about 2 pence or something like that. All we need is the last 3 digits, your number, if you want to call. It'd be great to hear some of our regulars calling up, and if not, some new people phoning.
Yep, so Aberdeen on Sunday.
Yep.
What time to kick off? Is it early?
3 o'clock kick off. Aye.
So, it is a semi-final, but we all know it'll be Aberdeen's cup final.
Cup final, 100%. It's going to be a hard game.
You know, it must be frustrating being an Aberdeen fan because, again, they did beat St Johnstone the weekend there, but they were a terrible run of form, and it was all because they put every ounce of effort and every ounce of passion into playing Rangers. Obviously, we won the last few minutes, which was great for us, but obviously broke their hearts. But
I think
so I have absolutely no doubt that on Sunday Aberdeen will be their best performance of the season.
Yeah, I think I might have the time scale wrong on this, but see when they played Rangers, with 10 minutes to go, I think they went from 8 points behind us in the space of a week to 16 points. They lost that many games. That shows you how bad their form was. You're right. They peak against Rangers, like most of these clubs do. They peak against us. Sunday, they're going to do everything they can. Whether if they kick us off the park, they'll do everything they can to beat Rangers. We need to be in top form. We need to be there for the start. None of the second half running amok when it could be too late. We need to make sure that we get out of the traps kicking. And if we play to our best, there's no doubt about it, Rangers will come out and they'll be in the final.
Oh, we should be winning 2 or 3-0, but again, excuse me. It just depends if we show up for the first half. If they'll come out all guns blazing for the first 20 minutes. We have to match them and surpass them, and we have to play our best, and we have to start the game strongly. We haven't had much luck in the last few years with semi-finals. Again, with Gerard's first semi-final was against Aberdeen, and Morelos got sent off in the previous game sillily, and we lost the game. And then obviously Hibs last year as well, raced a 3-0 lead or whatever. So we need to be on top form because they'll come out all guns blazing. So
yeah.
I think we should win, and obviously we can win. We just need to make sure that we play for 90 minutes rather than second half. Just
100%. Hampden's a bigger park as well. I think it's the biggest actual open park in Scottish football. So it's going to be Rangers will play that. We've got plenty of wide players. They've got plenty of pace. Defensive wise, I do think I'm not wanting to put the jinx in, so I'll touch wood. We're hoping that the defence will stay the way it is, and if we can keep it tight at the back. I don't see how Rangers will lose the game. I don't see stage fright or anything like that. The biggest problem under the Gerrard era, and we spoke about it a lot, was that Gerrard's mission was to get 55, and I don't think he really regarded the cups as a major priority for him. However, Michael Beale is a new manager in the game. He's got loads of experience as an assistant, but he's a new manager in the game, and he hasn't won cups or leagues before, and I think he'll do everything he can to make Rangers successful in cups and leagues.
Okay. Well, for your Rangers, you need to be gunning for all trophies, because if you win, the more trophies you win, the more confidence it breeds. And as I say, it gets that winning mentality. If you're a player for Rangers and you've got the end of the season with 2 or 3 winner medals going into next season, then you're a winner. You've got that mentality that you're not a winner. You're not second best. You're not challenging. You're the winners. So
the Scottish Cup holders. Do you know what I mean? So we want to keep it going.
Absolutely. So again, the only team that can beat Rangers on Sunday will be Rangers. I know that sounds daft, but if we come out and we don't have the confidence, or we look shaky, or we don't impose ourselves in the game, then if we stick to our game plan and we're confident, then we should sail through it. But you never know with Aberdeen, because it's
prediction
their
time.
cup final.
I'm going to go 3-1 Rangers.
I'm going to go 3-0 Rangers.
Lewis.
1-0 Rangers.
There you go. Earlier on in the vote, he's going to get no chance on Sunday.
He's had 2-0 Aberdeen.
Aye, so Lewis is going 1-0, I'm going 3-1 Rangers, you're going 3-0.
3-0, I think we'll do it. And so I think they've been terrible the last few weeks, and
they're not a great
playing
team,
well, so.
but they're going to play their hearts against us. We know that, we expect that, and we wouldn't have it any other way, to be fair. Hampden, the Rangers end in full swing. It has a good atmosphere. It's not the best of stadiums, but it's a good day out. It's always good it's good. The bars in that are good in the area, and Hampden will be electric, I think.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to break my Hampden jinx, as every
Rangers
game I've been at Hampden, we've lost.
Well, I'm with you in that, mate. I remember watching, Rangers losing penalties to Hibs with Frank de Boer missing a penalty. You know what I mean? So I've not had the best of luck with semi-finals. So
keep your predictions coming in as well, guys. That's always good to see the predictions, and also wherever you're watching from. If I want to ask it, it's always good to know where the viewers are watching from. Who wants to give us a wee call before we finish up here, Gordon? What is the phone number?
Aye, that's a very, very good question.
Because this is me, I'm going to change it.
0141 319 5230.
And the dog's snoring away here in case anybody's just joined us. 4-0 is a wee 4-0 prediction.
Who's that from?
William Haynes.
Okay, 4-0 Rangers.
Alright, William, how you doing, mate? I seen you last week, but I couldn't get near you at the other side of the line to come here and talk to you. It was too busy.
He says that quite a lot.
No, it was bombed. It was a 4-0 fun game, so I just couldn't literally get over. Right, guys, I don't want to wrap it up just yet, but we'll get another wee 5 minutes. What time is it?
Well, we're coming to that time. We're on there for over an hour, so
1 minute to 20 past.
1 minute to 20 past 19, so we're almost on time there. So
Have we caught up with everything? Is there anything else we've got to remember?
no, we covered the Spotify, so please search us on Spotify, the Gers TV, literally. Sorry, I'm developing a bit of cough here.
Twitter as well. I don't know. I don't watch Twitter. I don't tweet.
I don't watch Twitter, and I don't tweet
I
it.
don't use it at all. I'm not into it. So if anybody wants to, you can get us on Twitter as well. There's a call coming in.
Duncan.
Oh, there you go. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Duncan.
Yes. How's it going, guys?
No bad. Did you have a good New Year, mate?
I did. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year
to you.
I was just a wee bit disappointed with the Old Firm game, mate. I thought we should have won it, and I thought we should have finished
Sorry,
them
you're
off.
breaking up here, sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm saying that the Old Firm game's the only thing that I was disappointed by, because I thought we should have
Oh, I
finished them
can't
off.
hear you. Hold on.
You should hear us now.
Oh,
Aye, you still there?
it's a bad line, mate. Sorry.
Aye, we can hear you fine. Aye, I was just saying that I was a bit disappointed with the way the Old Firm game finished, because I thought we had them and we should have finished them off.
I know, and that's one of the reasons I'm phoning. Obviously, to lose a goal as late is just a nightmare,
It didn't surprise us. That's what annoyed me. It didn't surprise us, because you're thinking, if you sit back, they're going to score.
Yeah.
The points I was wanting to make to you was, see if he'd went the other way, brought on a couple of attackers or or thinking midfielders, whatever. Oh, they'd score, then they'd be accused of being naive, you know.
I get that as well. I understand. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. However, I think the way the game was going, I think we looked more at scoring than they did until we took off the main strikers and we bring on Sakala in the middle. I think that we were ineffective.
Yeah.
Aye. Oh God, I can hardly hear you, man. Sorry.
It's okay, Duncan. We can hear you fine. So it's a strange one, but yeah, I think you're thinking right with the Old Firm game. I think we brought in the wrong players and didn't do ourselves any favours.
It was just one of these things, you know. I think you know what it's like, man. They're jammies. No, they can score in the last second in the game, you know.
Aye, but we need to try and change that mentality to it's us scoring in the last minute because we've done it against Aberdeen, do you know what I mean? So we know we can do it.
Well, that's true. So I agree with that too, eh? I was wanting to talk about Tillman. You're a fan of Tillman, right?
Yeah.
So am I, but I think he's going to work a lot harder than he does.
His effort levels,
Right.
Yeah, he can kind of go in and out of games, but he's got that explosiveness where you need him most. But I think I agree, his work rate could be a lot better.
Definitely. Another thing I'm a little bit worried about is everybody's kind of getting excited about Hadji coming back, you know. Myself, I think it's going to take a wee bit of time for the boy to bed back in, you know.
No, I agree with that, Duncan, but one thing I will say about him, right, now I don't know this for a fact because I don't deal with that phone, people getting selfies with players and all that, but see when it comes to the way he's been looking after himself off the park, he looks as if he's been on the right diet, he's training, he doesn't look as if he's been carried away with it, and so I think he's focused in the right manner for it.
Obviously good off his dad.
That's what I was going to
He's
say.
professional, you know.
Well, if he engages with me, you'll remember his dad's the ultimate professional, and his dad still comes to Glasgow a lot, so mentality wise I think he'll do alright, but he's been out for, was it a year he's been out?
Almost, well.
He's still be getting the time that he needs, you know, because he's going to need a bit of time, I think, you know, he's that type of player.
Aye, no, without a doubt, maybe bringing him in at the odd game and then take your time with him, you're right.
Yeah.
But listen, I can hardly hear you. You sound like you're 100 mile away, you know. I'm up East Kilbride.
That's only about 20 miles away.
Just by the roundabout.
Hey.
I know it
I'll
well.
speak to you then, guys. All the best.
Okay,
All the best, pal.
Duncan,
Cheers,
take
thanks, Duncan, thanks.
Okay,
I
thanks.
can see weather out there, it's pouring the rain, isn't it?
Aye, it's been.
If it's pouring the rain here, he'll be up there with the canoe. You know what it's like up in East Kilbride.
We'll read out some final comments and then wrap
Aye.
up.
Yeah, so David Herd says, maybe for next show I wanted to get your thoughts on Celtic support discreet in the minutes. The silence for our disaster victims yet again. How many more games on January 2nd are going to allow this?
Yep, sorry, let's just pause there. And I would also jump in there and say after the passing of Her Majesty, I was at Dundee United fans, I think they were just as bad, if not worse. So yeah, totally.
Well,
sorry.
we've actually, we'll read it all in a second, but we've actually came to a point, and I'm not saying that this should happen, but we're coming to a point now in life where you can't have a minute's silence for anybody. I'm not saying you shouldn't have one, but you're getting to a position where no matter who the person is, you're having them. See this minute's applause, and I'm sure David will agree with me. I don't do it, I've never done it, and I know the separated brother across the city hated Jimmy Bell for doing the honourable thing and remaining silent for a minute's respect. That's what we do, our culture. Anybody who's in the BB and any organisations that I've been in and grown up, you remain silent for somebody, and if you've not got something good to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
But you bow your head in silence. That's becoming a thing of the past slowly because of these people who can't show 1 minute of respect, and we know it's disgusting.
Yeah, and Joe, what upsets me is that for years and years and years, Celtic fans were complaining that you were actually, creating hotlines to complain about Rangers fans about anything, like literally, like hotlines and whatnot, and they can't even show what. Again, I'm not defending Celtic fans here, but I think probably the majority of Celtic fans at Ibrox, for example, on the year probably did. It's just when they're silenced, it's magnified, the noise, and I would argue probably maybe 80%, 90% of Celtic fans probably did.
Yeah,
but
the problem, and what David's alluding to, and I agree with, is the Rangers support. One thing about the Rangers support is they'll try to sell police, and that lot try to sell police as well, but they're allowing that to happen. it's
Yeah,
continuing to happen.
there's no repercussions. The media don't report it, but you know, anytime something bad is reported about Rangers, it's all over the papers for weeks and weeks and weeks. So yeah, totally agree. Yeah. So Lewis, you want to?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of total bans on away fans, but the club just can't keep saying nothing about it. A few years back, we played Celtic on the last weekend of the old year. I think Rangers should be telling the league that we want our home New Year games versus them to be end of December, so we have someone else. So as it was on January 2nd, I know some other clubs fans probably won't stay silent too, but priority one for me is we never again share this sacred day with Celtic. Maybe one to talk over the next week.
Possibly, I don't know if I agree with David on that. I understand what he's saying, and I don't totally disagree with him. But what I'm worrying about is you're basically letting the idiots you're letting the idiots and these people are never going to change, right? You're letting them dictate how we live our lives, and sometimes I think it's horrific, but I think you've got to rise above it. We should probably be looking at taking action, and the club should be speaking out about it without a doubt. Rangers Football Club should be speaking out about it, but they won't, because we don't have any PR. We don't even have PR man anymore.
I think what should happen is they should come out and say, right, the next time this happens, we'll ban you for a game, and then see if that ever doesn't, then you ban them, and then I'm sure that would solve the issue.
I definitely think he's right. Rangers should be doing something about it. For the sake of human decency, for if nothing else, there's just no place for it in football. And again, when anybody passes away, I don't think at all it should be a minute's applause. I'll never forgive what happened to, I'm not going to go into big detail on it, but the great Bobby Shearer never got a minute's silence. They changed it to a minute's applause, which I'll never ever forget. When somebody passes, it should be a minute's silence, and it should be respected.
The whole minute's applause was brought in to drown out the idiots that can't show respect. And
yeah,
I think once you ask 99% of people to change the 1%, that's when you're in a bad situation.
However, David has a point. We need to address it.
Absolutely.
Will we address it? I just don't see anybody with Rangers with any gumption to do it. I just don't think they've got any interest in it. Commercially, them coming out and saying that they gain nothing out of it, so the club will not do it. There's no financial gain in it. I know it sounds horrible, but let's face it, it's the truth.
Let's face it, it's the truth, yeah.
They don't want to upset Peter Lawwell's back in charge of Celtic, Peter Lywell, so they won't want to upset him. There's nobody at Rangers I can think they would even want to come out and say it. So David, if you tell us what you think, if you disagree with me, but I don't see who's going to do it. That's my point. You might have seen a wee thing I done last week, as I put an article up, a small article about the great James Curry, the minister. Massive Rangers fan, and again, this was a guy who was a bit outspoken about his love for Rangers. Guys like that don't really exist at the club anymore. It's new people that are the silence, we basically a dignified silence, and we might not agree with it, but we don't want to say anything about it. And I don't see that changing in the short term, sadly.
Yeah, but I think the point's a great one about do something about it. But
do something about it, but I don't think. Yeah. I think to do something about it. So they wouldn't play them next year at Ibrox, so it would be 2 years' time.
Yeah.
So you'd have to then say in 2 years' time if it happens. But what would happen is tit for tat. They would then say, they would look for an excuse to say if the Rangers support done something and we banned the Rangers support. You know that's going to happen. Yeah. And you're going to end up with 8 away fans at the games, and I don't agree with that. I like to see the atmosphere. So it's an interesting talking point. We could talk about it next week.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so
any last minute comments?
No.
I can't read them, but I'm not got the specs on.
Okay, so it's been great to be back. This is obviously the first time since before Christmas we've been on air, so we will obviously now. There's not a lot. Obviously, unfortunately, no European football. So
it'll be at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so we're back on regularly 8 o'clock on a Tuesday, and enjoy the game on Sunday. And I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about next week in the show.
And then we'll talk about the European. We'll get the European game. We'll get the Wednesday night game after that.
Of course.
So it's all happening, guys. Good night.
On ours, remember, Simon, we are
the people.
Hi, Gordon Smith here. Just to let you know that next year we're going to be going to Gers Sands. Gers TV have organised a day there in order that we can go and really do what they used to do under the Jock Wallace era, is training Gers Sands. Now you can come along, and the monies that we're going to be raising is for the Erskine Hospital, and it'll be £100 each to take part, but you can only take part if you're fit. So all you people from the Rangers Supporters Club, get yourself